What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Starfighter podcast. It's Dom and Jake. Happy Star Wars Day.
It's here.
We're out here. It's a great day. At least, I think so. I'm excited for the show tonight. We're going to be celebrating the franchise. We're going to be talking about a bunch of different Star Wars topics. And yeah, of course, guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Leave us a comment. Join the conversation. We can play them here live in the live chat, or we will respond to them if you're watching on the replay. Either way, we appreciate you guys being here, and you can leave a like as well. Jake, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I just want to be, shouting out one of the people that came in early, about 4 hours early.
Do it.
Give him a shout out.
Do it.
New Deco. Namaste. Thank you, brother.
Hey, appreciate you.
Yeah. I hope you're having a great May the 4th as well. But back to me, because I'm the star of the show.
Obviously.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Been a busy day for me, but got to chill out and watch some of the visions. So that was cool.
Yes, we will be talking a little bit about that.
I enjoyed it.
I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that.
I actually
slightly surprised, but
I know. Well, I never even watched the first season because of the animation style that most of it was in, and stuff like that, which I'm not a fan of. So, but yeah, this is cool.
Awesome.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I have to shout out like my work, my office. Like everyone was really great. Everyone knows that I'm just like such a huge Star Wars fan at work, and so like my manager decorated, and like the rest of the office isn't really into Star Wars, so like this is definitely it was definitely just for me. So like my manager decorated like my office like with a bunch of Star Wars stuff, and she made Star Wars brownies. She went all out, and it was just really cool. So shout out to them for this. Also,
yes,
guys, I totally forgot. I need to do a couple plugs real quick.
Yes.
I'll do another one at the end. But guys, I'm about to drop a new album tomorrow, so you can check out my music. My artist name is Moon Heist. You can check out my music, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, whatever. Follow me on there. Appreciate it. So shameless little plug there. Stay tuned for the new album, drops tomorrow. And then okay, so what was I gonna say? I forget, there was another Star Wars thing. Oh wait, no, I remember. So we're about to hit our 200th episode pretty soon, Jake, on the channel.
Oh my lord.
So like we're celebrating today. I feel like we got to do something special for that too. For our 100th episode. So you guys can expect something fun. Well, Jake and I will figure something out, but we'll do something fun for our 200th episode as well. So looking forward to that. Okay, our main topic today. Our first main topic, I should say. What Star Wars means to us, and what does it mean to the movie film industry? What does it mean for cinema? First off, let's talk about what it means to us. Okay, so for me, and I feel like a lot of people can relate. I mean, it's kind of tough because there's just so many different levels of Star Wars fans, you know what I mean? But I would say a good majority of people, no matter like how into Star Wars they are, they can kind of acknowledge that Star Wars means like a lot to the film industry. It really set the bar for a lot of things in terms of quality, in terms of story writing. I mean, so much Star Wars has inspired like so many other movies, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. But I guess on a personal level, what it also does is I think it inspires people too. And I mean, for a number of reasons, like creatively, I think it inspires people who are, creative and are artistic. Even going deeper than that, Star Wars has always had so many different life lessons, so many things that can be like easily applicable to people's lives, easily relatable. And like, I mean, we've talked about some of these before, but like, I mean, something like super notable is like the hero's journey, and just like growing up too. Like George Lucas has said it many times, Star Wars is really, targeted towards the youth and that coming of age time in people's lives. The whole good versus evil aspect, the redemption, like a character's redemption arc, that's a big one too. Like there's just so many different lessons. Another big one is just like facing adversity, like against all odds. Like that's a huge theme through Star Wars as well. So I guess I would say, I mean, I could honestly talk about this forever, but I guess I would say, like, for a lot of those reasons, Star Wars has meant a whole lot to me from a young age. I think I mean, it's my favorite, like, film franchise. I think I just kind of fell in love with Star Wars, like, since a young age, and I was always watching Star Wars as a kid, especially, like, with my nephew Gavin. Like he's just a couple of years younger than me, so we grew up as brothers, and like we were just always watching Star Wars together. We were always like buying and playing with Star Wars Legos. We were always playing Star Wars games.
Yeah,
we were playing with Star Wars lightsabers, like just like constantly. Star Wars was just a huge thing for me and like a lot of my siblings too. So yeah, I mean, it's meant a lot to me since a young age, and then even now, for a long time, I wanted to do a Star Wars podcast. Like I'm honestly surprised I didn't do one sooner, because I wanted to for like a long time, and so now I've done it for a couple, like what, two maybe almost 3 years, something like that. But yeah, so clearly it still is really important to me even now. But yeah, Jake, your thoughts?
Yeah. No, I love it, man. I share a lot of the same sentiment with it, for sure. Obviously, yeah, it's inspired a lot in cinema and all that fun stuff. But I'm a selfish guy, and I don't really care about what it's done for cinema, because what it's done for me is, like Dom, it was like a big part of my childhood. I grew up during, I was like the perfect age for when the new, the prequels, when they first came out. And that's what really got me into Star Wars. And I grew up with a bunch of Lego Star Wars, building things. Like, that was the most fun. And then obviously playing Lego Star Wars, that was like a big part of my childhood. I don't know how much you played it, but I used to play a lot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no. And what you were saying, like it taught me a lot. And there's a lot of life lessons within Star Wars that you can take away, and all those things you mentioned. And you can even include like acceptance sometimes, acceptance of failure. That like, you just can't let that define you. All that stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I love it. And I've obviously, growing up like you, I've still kept along with it. I've watched Clone Wars, which I think is probably some of the best Star Wars out there.
Moving forward, we can go on to our next main topic tonight.
Let's do it.
Jake, let's talk about our favorite Star Wars film. Dude. Oh, me too.
I can't hold it anymore, dude. I've been waiting for this all day.
Favorite Star Wars film?
12 hours I was awake, just sitting, just waiting, just thinking. I'll tell you what, my favorite, oh man, I've already talked about my love for episode 3. Okay, episode 3 is
I would love to talk about episode 3, because I love episode 3 too.
Episode 3 is like the Infinity War. Okay, it really just kind of kills you, knocks you down at the knees. And I love it so much. I eat that up. But I also, Okay, this is why I said most watchable, and it's so hard for me, and this might be controversial. I don't know. And it's probably actually, I know it's going to be highly controversial. But one of the most watchable movies for me out of like the franchise is Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And I think it's like just right there, like with Episode 3 for me. That's why I think the first trilogy is so good. Like I can get through Clone Wars. I appreciate like Clone Wars. Or Attack of the Clones, I'm sorry, for like so many reasons. Like I love that movie, and a lot of people don't. I understand, I get it, but I think Phantom Menace is like one of the better movies. We get Qui-Gon in it, you know, I love that, and Darth Maul was one of the best apprentices that we'll probably ever see. Yeah, I don't know, and it's so sad because every time I watch Phantom Menace, I always think like I wish we got more Maul in this movie. Like it could have made it so much better. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm kind of just
shout out to Ray Park for a second. Now that you bring it up, shout out to Ray Park who plays Darth Maul in that. And a fun little fact for you guys: Ray Park comes back for season 7, the final season of Clone Wars. I think this is just awesome. Which Jake and I have talked about. The last 4 episodes of Clone Wars is amazing. Like the last 4 episodes are an incredible movie. Like they're supposed to be watched together as a film, basically. And so Ray Park comes back to do the motion capture for Darth Maul's fight against Ahsoka. They have 2 motion capture people, and it's so good. And you can tell like it's real choreography, and you know what I mean. It's just not just animated characters or drawings.
Sick.
Like
you see him in his like little suit and he's like just whipping his stick around. Like all right, okay.
So I thought that was awesome. But yeah, so are you saying that Phantom Menace is your favorite, or
it's up there? I don't think I can give it to it just because, you know, I love sorrow. I love to be angry at a movie. So that's the only reason why I don't think I give it to Phantom Menace, but I think it's right there. Like it depends on the day. Depends on the day. And I love Jar Jar, dude. Okay? I really do. I love that guy. I'm sick of it. He's so cool. He could even be a Sith Lord. All right? That's how cool he is.
Wow.
That's my view. I'm sticking to it. Ain't nobody gonna tear it down.
We're about to come for you in the chat.
Hey, sticks and stones, my friends. Sticks and stones.
Yeah. So, I mean, not to put more pressure on you, but I mean, are you going with episode 3 or episode 1?
Just to make everyone angry, this year I'm going F1. We're going F1.
You're going episode 1? Okay.
We're going the PM, dude.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, shoot, dude, I planned on talking about Revenge of the Sith quite a bit with you tonight.
Well, I love Revenge of the Sith. I mean, just not today.
We'll talk a little
just
bit
not
about
today.
We'll talk a little bit about 1 and 3 then. I have a really, I mean, episode 1 has a really special place in my heart too, because that was the first Star Wars film that I saw in the theater. I remember my dad took me and one of my brothers and one of my sisters. I have a really tough time. Like, I have a good memory, but not when it comes to my childhood. One thing I do remember is that day that I saw Phantom Menace in the theater with my dad and my brother and sister. And I think you probably can guess what scene it is. But the doors open and you see, you know, the cloaked figure, and he lifts his head up and he takes off his hood and you see him with the horns, and then you see the double bladed lightsaber, like, and I talked about like moments like these not too long ago on the show, but like it just so memorable because of being with, you know, a group of people who you all share like this love for the film and the franchise, and just like you can like feel the energy and everyone's just like going crazy, you know what I mean, for what's about to happen. And so
how does the song go, Dom? How does it start when it takes his head off? Sing it. Come on.
Dun 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 dun.
There's vocals in there.
You take it.
Oh man, I don't know if I could do it. I'm not the artist. I can't do it.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. So and Duel of the Fates, you know, that's another reason.
Duel of the Fates, one of like the best Star Wars songs.
The Duel and the song
of all time.
It's both. It's the Duel and it's the song. Honestly, that might be my favorite lightsaber fight still to this day. It's hard because there are so many good ones.
F3 though.
Yeah.
F3
we'll talk about that too. But I mean, I loved Qui-Gon in that film. Like at the time, he was like my favorite character. And then kind of Episode 1 just made a really big impression on me too as a kid because of that duel. And I remember feeling so crushed when Maul stabs him.
I know.
I was so sad, Jake. Like I did not see it coming.
That's like, what I'm saying. Like,
I did not see it coming kind of one bit.
It has the pull, but it's not as much as Episode 3. That's why I love Episode 1 so much as well.
And there's so many layers to that battle too, especially again, like watching it as a kid, like when it comes to like the force fields closing, like the force fields closing in on Obi-Wan and blocking him. And
dude, young Obi-Wan was so good.
Oh yeah.
Like in that scene, like he was, dude, then after he kills him and he freaks out. Oh, bejeebus.
Yeah. I mean, I just remember, so the force fields are separating all of them, right? And then, you know, Obi-Wan's getting frustrated about it, but then you see Qui-Gon kneel down and he starts to do battle meditation, which is, I could talk about battle meditation too.
Oh, shoot.
That's a deep cut, but I will say real quick, that's something.
Can I talk about force speed?
Yeah. I mean, force speed.
I mean, let's talk about it.
Is that the only time you see it in the films, I think?
That's the only time you see it, and I guess it's a one and done kind of thing. You can only do it once. If you try doing it twice, I guess your legs will fly off or something, is what the legends say about it. So I don't know if that's true, but
and then I mean they kind of just hit me what you were kind of saying after it hit me kind of late, but yeah, battle meditation, super cool. I just thought that was really cool how he was like meditating on things and preparing himself for like the next step in the battle. So yeah, it was kind of like the frustration that Obi-Wan's dealing with, and then when Qui-Gon goes up against Darth Maul, which keep in mind, Qui-Gon, like if you know like more of his backstory, he is a good swordsman and he is a powerful Jedi. That's why he has a green lightsaber too. He's very skilled in the Force, and he was a good swordsman. But at the end of the day, Maul gets the best of him.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. But then it's at this point, bro, that, you know, you really start to see, so you see the like aggression come out with Obi-Wan, and then he gets knocked down. And this is what I was talking about earlier, is like being up against like,
use the Force, like, Obi-Wan.
All of the odds are against you, you know.
Yeah.
What I mean? And so at a young age, that made a big impression on me, because I was like, how, like, I'm still so crushed that Qui-Gon's dead, but like now, like the only hero in this story, like he's getting wrecked. Like, how is he gonna get out of this one? And then when you see him use the Force to grab Qui-Gon's lightsaber and do, you know, probably one of the coolest, if not the coolest, techniques in Star Wars to kill Maul when he jumps behind his back. the Obi-Wan technique, the one that Anakin couldn't do to him in episode 3.
I was gonna say he did that, and then he knew how to take off someone's limbs if they tried,
And you know what? I mean, we'll talk about it later, but that move, that technique, and then in episode 3,
that's what I'm saying, dude.
It's like poetry, bro.
It rhymes, dude.
It rhymes.
Dude, it rhymes. I'm here for it. Straight up, dude. That's why I love the first 3, dude. The first trilogy, the prequels are my favorite.
They're good.
Are hands down.
So those are some of, I know I went on a little rant there, but those are some of the reasons why I really love episode 1.
Yeah. And listen, don't get me wrong, people. I love the pod race. I love it. Wouldn't change it. Wouldn't change a thing. All right. Love the whole thing. All of it. Every bit of it. Jar Jar included. Why do you think my name's Jake Binks? All right. Yeah. What do you want me to do? Nothing I can do, folks. I'm simping for Jar Jar.
Anything else you want to say about Phantom Menace?
I mean, honestly, no. I think you nailed it. I mean, I just enjoyed that breakdown of the ending scene. I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think of something else that I liked. There's a lot of great quotes in it. There's always a bigger fish, There's fantastic quotes in it. I think I've sent Dom a couple of videos of some other guy that does an impression of him.
Man, we might have to play those at some point on the channel.
Dude, I will die. I love that guy so much. Oh, goodness gracious. Like so a moth to a flame. Okay.
that one got me. That one really got me, dude.
When I saw that, I was like, I need to send this to Dom. Like, he's gonna die. Like, that's 100% his kind of joke. Like,
what's that guy's name so people can watch that? Do you remember it?
Not Obi-Wan or something like that.
Yeah, you guys should watch those deep fake videos.
I'll look it up just for the fans, dude. Just for the fans.
But yeah, I do want to talk a little bit about episode 3. I feel like this is the best of...
Yeah, not Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Of the trilogy.
There you go.
Not Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay. Yeah, guys, check that out.
He's the funniest. Dude, so and his story, honestly, like just how he's progressed through, because the whole thing is like he had one of Anakin's arms still, and so he put it in a bacta tank, and that's how he got Anakin back. But he's like kind of dumb and doesn't remember anything. And so,
oh, gotcha.
So like that's why Anakin's in there. Anyways, it's a whole thing, guys. It's a whole thing. Sorry for cutting you off. I got
it's all
crazy.
Good. Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
You want to tell us about your love for this film?
This is the best film besides Phantom Menace today. All right, for a number of reasons. A little slow in the middle part. I get that, but
I mean, I love the fight in the beginning with Dooku and Anakin.
Oh, so fantastic. A lot of great fights. Dooku, Anakin, Mace Windu, Palpatine, Yoda, Palpatine, Obi-Wan, Anakin. I could Grievous, Anakin, or Grievous and Obi-Wan.
And even, if I can add, like, even smaller fight sequences, like, I mean, the march scene with Anakin and the troops, the different scenes where you see the Jedi like Ki-Adi-Mundi fighting against the clone troopers. Personally, one of my favorite scenes and sorry if I'm cutting you off a bit, Jake.
No,
because I'm getting excited, but
no, don't worry about it, dude. No, go for it, dude.
One of my favorite scenes in Revenge of the Sith I think this is a underrated scene. But when Obi-Wan and Yoda go back to the temple to see if there's any more Jedi, and like you can tell like they're pretty mad, like they're just taking out the clones, right? And like Obi-Wan, he's pissed, dude. But like he's got his hood on too.
pretty sure Yoda throws his lightsaber into one of their chests, jump up and takes it out and kills another one. And I'm just like, oh my god. And he does it by cutting off his head, mind you, I'm pretty sure. Something crazy like that. Yeah, he came in full force.
And Obi-Wan's going off too.
But it was... Okay, yeah. Anything else you want to add before I go on my tangent?
No, it's just like there's like bigger battles, and then there's like a bunch of little ones sprinkled in there too that are great.
Yeah. No, yeah, I love the little ones. Yeah. I mean, so don't shame me, but I kind of knew that Darth Vader was Anakin, but I never paid attention to the original Star Wars enough. It was always like something I watched, but nothing like I paid attention to, if that makes any sense. Like, I was younger when I watched them, and so I didn't really care about what really was going on. And so in this, like, I had the idea, like, you know, I obviously knew.
But in A New Hope, he says it. Obi-Wan tells Luke. Well, actually, he says that a young Jedi killed his father. So I guess if you're saying that when you watched it the first time, like, there's still a little bit of mystery, I guess that's true, right?
Yeah, there was. I mean, the only thing was that, like, he was like, yeah, Luke, like, I'm your father. And so I'm like, all right, like, Padme's pregnant, like, probably, you know, whatever. But it was like, I knew it was coming. It was like just seeing the biggest train crash you could possibly see. Like, you know it's coming, you're witnessing it, and there's nothing you could do about it, and you're just like hoping to all the heavens that, like, it's just not gonna be as bad as you think it's gonna be, and it is. Like, when I first seen this movie, and when they first call Order 66, and then you just see like everybody just get wiped out, and you're like, oh, like, this is no joke here. Like, this is happening. And then Anakin goes and kills a bunch of younglings in the Jedi Temple. You're like, okay, like, this is getting out of hand. And then that last duel scene, man, you know, like, and like you said, the march was sick. The music was fantastic in the third movie.
Possibly the best music, I think, in the films is in episode 3.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And it's just like so heartbreaking, you know, like Padme, and he kills her basically, like, just like the whole thing. Like, when I first saw it, I don't remember, I probably wanted to cry really bad, but was too embarrassed to in the theaters. But like, that is a heartbreaking scene. Everything about this scene is just heartbreaking, and you just watch this guy's like morality dissolve throughout this one film completely. Because I mean, even in what we were talking about, Clone Wars and like the anime series, it's between episodes 2 and 3, and has his struggles obviously in it. We won't get into it too much, but like, he's like, it almost seems kind of like a very quick like flip, like once something happens. I mean, I guess you could argue that it happens in Attack of Clones when he kills all those people when his mom dies. Like, that was pretty, you know, dark side.
The Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, the Tusken Raiders. But anyways, that last fight scene and that music too to that last fight scene is so amazing. And visually, I think it's the best. So, but I don't know. I'm sure you're gonna go off on it. I love it, everything about it. Like, when they get into it and they're using the Force and they're forcing each other, and it's like Anakin at peak level. You know what I mean? So it's, I guess it's not, because he's more. I don't know. Would you say he's more?
No, I think it was. I think
Vader?
It was.
I think he was like full like potential at this point.
Well, he was Vader at that time, you know, even though he wasn't in the suit. So I
guess not.
Again, with episode 3, this also has a really special place in my heart. This is one of my favorite Star Wars films for sure.
Yeah.
It's possible that Episode 3 is the most watched Star Wars film for me than anything else, even though it's not like my number one. I just remember it was my favorite for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just remember watching it all the time and like playing or building Star Wars Legos and having that on in the background constantly. And oh, you're cutting out you're cutting out just a little bit there.
Oh, my bad.
My bad. Now. We're good. What were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing. I'm just like thinking about Episode 3. I don't know. It was like my favorite episode to play in Lego Star Wars. Like I would play it a bunch. Like I just do when that came out. It was like peak excitement for Star Wars for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you know what I mean.
Absolutely. The other thing I was gonna say too is, so I had the DVDs. I had the set. The 3.
Keep going. I gotta close this real quick.
The reason I originally brought up the special features though is because you talked about like, you know, peak Anakin, peak Vader. So George Lucas talks about he talks about like their skill level in Episode 3, and he describes Obi-Wan. He describes it. I'm paraphrasing, but essentially what he's saying, he's talking about Obi-Wan and Anakin, and he's saying that when it comes to like skill level and power, like power rank, you could say that a Jedi could like cap out at a level 8, and he says Obi-Wan is right there at level 8. He's like, but Anakin has surpassed that, and he's gone to a level 9 because of like his skills as a Jedi and because of his new powers as a Sith. And I always thought that was cool, the way that he talks about both of them in that film too. And because it goes to my point, like I've always, like Obi-Wan has become my favorite character, and I've talked about it too. Like he's underrated, but he's always been like really powerful. It's just like, I think he gets overlooked too because of how humble he is. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, there's just so many reasons why I appreciate Episode 3. I'll say Obi-Wan's my number one. Again,
Obi-Wan's up there so high for me. Like he's in my discussion right now.
I mean, it goes back to the original trilogy. Like he's like the mysterious wizard and swordsman, you know, that ultimately teaches our hero how to use the Force, how to use a lightsaber. But like he's just like, there's so much about his character that's just like incredible.
Yeah, he's just like weak sauce in that first one. The prequels is where he's at, man. Ewan McGregor.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Let's get real about this. He made Obi-Wan.
Okay. I'm going there. I think one of the best things about Obi-Wan is that he's not easily seduced by the dark side. He's definitely tempted by the dark side many times. And it's not like,
even like that, dude. Like just tempted with like freedom, even like
yeah, like with Satine.
Like with Satine, like are you even calling that the dark side? Because I wouldn't call it the dark side. I would just call that like just like tempted with like normality.
I would call it like the dark side when he's got a solid head on his shoulders. He's very level-headed.
Although, okay, let's just be real about this. I lied.
Part,
I'm sorry for cutting you off, but he also did say that he would run away if Satine said that if she wanted to, like he would be out of there in a hot second. Like not in a question.
That was at one time. At one time when he was younger.
Oh, is it at one time? Okay.
Yeah, when he was younger. And yeah, so like we won't get into it, but there is a
into it.
There is a book.
You're getting into it right now. We're not going to get into it.
Master and Apprentice. That talks about Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon more, and how Obi-Wan was a lot like Anakin actually when he was younger. which you see that a little bit in episode 1, but yeah. So I mean, he just has a great backstory, but of course, he's very consistent. Like his character is very consistent at keeping a level head.
You know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another just like really important thing is he can hold his own against literally the best of them. I mean, if you think about it, like
definitely an argument to be made that he's the most powerful Jedi. Like
he probably isn't. He probably isn't, but there is an argument to be made there. I mean,
we've never seen him go against Palpatine. That's the only flaw in this debate here. Okay, you could say Yoda took on Palpatine, but he lost, folks. Okay, he lost.
Right.
Mace Windu did, and he only lost because we know why. Episode 3, Anakin comes in, cuts off his hand. A lot of hand losing in Star Wars. If you can't handle that, get out of here.
Well, you know the other thing too, going back to like the being tempted to the dark side, is like he's like a really strong embodiment of like a true Jedi, but also like, but not just like he's a little bit of a Boy Scout in some ways, but not
Obi-Wan,
but not like 100%, because like again, like his skill level is like so high up there. But for example, like he takes out Anakin, right? And like, and he knows, and also it's not just that he like gets lucky,
takes him out
in episode 3,
or cuts off his legs and arm and leaves him on fire.
I'm getting there.
Okay. What are you talking about here?
Yeah, I'm getting to what you're saying exactly.
He
so
just murdered him so bad.
He
takes him out. No, man, he's shish kebab the guy.
But also he knows that he's going to. You know what I mean? Like
he has to.
And he's not overconfident. He's just confident. That's the thing about Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
He's been around a while. He's seen a lot. He's done a lot. He's put in the work. He's not overconfident. He's just confident. Like in that moment, yes, the high ground moment, everybody. He has the high ground. He knows he has it. He knows it's over. He says it's over. He says it's over. And again,
don't try it, Anakin.
I
have the high ground now. Yeah.
But then, so after he cuts him down, right?
Yeah.
Because of who Obi-Wan is, and because he's got like this pure heart too. Like, I mean, Obi-Wan had his mission. I didn't realize this too for a long time when I was a kid. But Obi-Wan's mission there on Mustafar was not to turn Anakin back to the light side. Yoda tells him to go to Mustafar and kill Anakin. You're muted, bro.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, yeah, obviously, dude. I mean, that's why he's like arguing. He's like, "Don't make me go." Like, I would much rather face Palpatine, please, for the love of everything holy. Like, I would much rather even die facing Palpatine than
for some reason. As a kid, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like, it played as if like, well, in the beginning, like
he literally says like 2 lines to him. He's like, "You should probably come over here, like join the light side again. We can still make this work." And he's like, "No." He's like, "All right, like I'm gonna have to kill you." you know, there was like very little talking involved.
But what I'm saying is that was his mission, right? And he could do it if he wanted. Like all he had to do is go and stab him or something at the end.
I would thought that would have been so sick if he did that.
But he's got this pure heart. He's got this pure heart, and like, you know, and they're brothers. So he doesn't. And like, I just think that's great. All right. Well, I think our final topic for tonight for the Star Wars Day episode is we were going to talk just a little bit about the new Star Wars anime, which is Star Wars Visions Season 2. You watched 1 and 5?
I watched 1, 5, 3, and 4. 3 is pretty good. I love the animation style is so cool. Yeah, you're gonna love 3. I don't know if you liked it.
What was your favorite out of the 4 that you watched?
I don't know, because I watched 5 twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was like trying to get your fascination with it, and I got it the second time. Yeah, I thought it opened up pretty strong with episode 1. I like the animation style a lot more that they're using with the second season, where it's almost like the clay, like stop motion kind of
Yeah, I'm
animation.
interested in that. I don't know if I'll like the claymation or not. Like,
The episode 3, kind of a slow start, picks up. You're gonna love it. It looks like it's a mini set. You know, like I hope that they built like mini sets almost.
mm-hmm.
But they probably didn't. It's probably all animation. But it looks like it. It looks like he could like just hold the camera down, because one of the things I didn't talk about before, but one of my absolute favorite things to do is to drive like 3 hours to go to Legoland, and they have literally fields of the battles from Lego Star Wars and like just different fighting scenes, and it is so cool. So if you want those pictures, Dom, I'll send them to you. I have some like pretty sick pictures of just massive battles, like from Phantom Menace.
Uh,
Um,
I would like to see that.
oh, dude, so sick! I love it. But regardless, uh, yeah, I love the animation styles this season, and pretty good storytelling.
Are you
I
gonna
enjoy it.
finish the rest of it?
Yeah, I'll check it out. Like, okay, so I watched.
Be
I
honest.
watched.
Are you gonna finish this season? That there's not many episodes.
Yeah, I'm not even halfway through. So we'll see how many I get through. I'm sure I'll pick and choose. There was one episode that I was like, "There's absolutely no chance I'm watching that episode. That sounds super boring." Um, which I get. It's like supposed to be more artsy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's more showing off different animations and storytelling shorts, basically for like maybe up and coming animators or something like that with a
Yeah.
Disney. Um, but yeah, so I'm just like kind of weary when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to picking an episode, because I don't want it to be all rainbows and butterflies. Like I need there to be some darkness in it, which is why I like episode 3.
Okay.
Um,
That's the one I'm gonna watch next. Then I'm gonna watch
yeah,
that after our show.
I'm trying to
Um,
remember exactly how it ends, but it's like pretty. It actually ends like solid, but uh, yeah, I think the first episode gave me that same kind of feeling of like, oh gosh, this person's gonna get killed when those 3 guys show up, and then like he rolls in.
I'm gonna show a clip.
Okay, when the Sith rolls in and he's like coming after the chick, and she has to. I thought it was just kind of fugazi when she's like, "Oh, like the paint, like I can't control it. Let me do this. I'm part of both light and dark." I figured that to be like a pretty mainstay theme throughout these episodes, where it's like they're trying to. It's Star Wars is going in a different direction where now it's okay almost to be like both, where it used to not be that at all. Innocuous research. Um,
No, I get what you're saying for sure.
you know what I mean? But like
Mhm.
that's yeah, and both those episodes you sent me, it was literally not that one, but the next one. Like it's just there's a few. It's weird. I don't know what they're setting up. I don't know if there's like an overarching story that they're trying to like prepare us for within Star Wars. But I guess that's your next topic question, so I won't talk about it. But um, yeah, I enjoyed it. I talked way too long about it. I enjoyed it.
No, thought it was great. I want to show a clip of that first episode. There's there's no
It
other
really
way
threw
to
me
describe
off,
it.
bro. The
The
first like animation kind of roll in, I was like, I don't know what's happening here. Is this like a Pixar
Did you
short?
like
Like what's
that? Did you
happening?
like it though? Like,
Not in the beginning. No.
well, I feel
For the
like
first like minute and a half, 2 minutes, I was like, what the heck is going on here? But then I
so the clip I'm going to show is at the end. So I mean, I'm sure you guys. Well, we also should mention this because some people have never heard of Star Wars Visions, but this is the first
yeah.
anime for Star Wars. This is season 2. They're all one-offs. They're very short episodes. None of it is canon. All of it is just fun stories. And what's I think the one of the coolest parts about it is that they're all different, like Japanese artists and storytellers, and they're all kind of giving their own take on Star Wars. So I think it's kind of interesting. Like for some people, like Star Wars means lightsaber fights, which like I would relate to that sentiment a lot. For other people, it's not necessarily that. It's like other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but it's cool to see like what other people's, because it's gonna be for a lot of
Because
these
it was
people. It's
so
like
different too, man. Like the one
yeah,
that you're gonna show, like that whole first opening scene is so different. I felt like it was.
yeah,
I don't even want to use the words because it's like a family channel, but you probably know where I'm going with it. Like it was like a. I was like, what was this person on when they made this episode? Is what I was thinking. You know, like in the beginning, it was just like,
yeah. Well, you know what I think of is that like because these storytellers they've talked about how like they're really grateful for being able to like be a part of Star Wars now. And you think about
mm,
it, like the 12-minute episodes that some or if not all of these people are doing, it's like the only Star Wars content probably that they're ever going to make. And
mm-hmm,
some of them are probably like huge Star Wars fans. So it's like, what short Star Wars episode am I going to make? Like, it's going to be whatever Star Wars like means to them personally. You know,
mm-hmm,
I think that's really cool.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I'm going to show a clip of that first episode. To me,
I didn't understand one thing that was happening within the first 3 minutes. I was like, so this person can
there's
control their environment with the force? Like,
there's
what
no
is happening?
other there's no other word to describe it in my opinion. Like I think the art in this first episode is just beautiful.
Oh yeah, this scene. Mm-hmm.
All right, this is season 2, episode 1. We'll show a small clip, and it's not going to be too long. It is going to be the final battle here. And yeah, hopefully we don't get kicked off air.
Possible.
Becoming the Sith Master will be your only escape.
Light and darkness are part of the painting. Part of me.
Love that saber.
It's so cool, dude.
Love that thing, dude.
You did well, my apprentice. You are the Sith Master now.
I said I'm no Sith.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was a little clip of season 2, episode 1.
Someone was on something when they made that episode. I'll tell you what, right?
Dude, I think it's a
enjoyed it.
sick episode, man.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like the environment change and just like, is that just her force reality? I guess. Like I've never even heard of that before.
It almost
She
has
like
a
won
little
like a
bit of
Wanda.
like it almost has like a little bit of like an Inception feel or something.
No, it has like a Wanda vibe, like the reality stone, like force reality. Like you can kind of manipulate your environment. It might not be true, but you can like do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It was weird. I love the animation style. That was very splatty. And I don't want to be a nitpicker, but I think it's cool. Okay, I'm gonna nitpick a little bit here. I think it's really cool and interesting how imperfect art is becoming accepted while there's so much mainstream media hate on CGI that's so bad. But then this kind of stuff comes out where it's like literally drawing outside the lines. And you're like, yeah, that's super cool. Like, I love the animation. It looks great. But then if CGI comes out and it just doesn't look 100% real, everyone's like, yeah, that looks awful, you know? And so, like, it's just like,
I think
it's almost like
because it's
imperfect
supposed
art.
to be that way, though.
I get that. But it's like imperfect art. And I just think it's so funny because it almost looks like this was done on like a storyboard for a movie. And they just were like, we don't even have to finish it. Like, let's just do it.
You don't think the art looks awesome for that episode?
It just doesn't look crisp. There's nothing crisp about it. I think it looks awesome, but there's nothing crisp about it. And I'm glad it wasn't like what you said it was like. Because
I think that might be like the anime aspect of it. Like the kind of like, I mean, the colors were very vibrant, but you still get kind of this like the jagged lines of the drawing, right? That sort of thing.
Yeah. No, I loved it. I thought it was cool. I did not think it was like Into the Spider-Verse though. I thought it was a completely different kind of style animation.
Well, it definitely is. The colors, like how colorful it got, that's what kind of reminded me of Into the Spider-Verse a little bit.
Yeah, I can see where you got that, but yeah, no, the Into the Spider-Verse movie gives me a headache, so I probably won't be seeing the second one in theaters.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I might have to wait. I can watch it on TV, but in theaters, it's way too much for me. Like I get sick, so.
I want to show a little part. This will be the last thing for our show tonight, but I want to show a little part of that episode 5. Is there like a moment in there? Should I just show the final battle again? Is there another moment that you liked from episode 5, which is about the statue?
Yeah, I know.
That the kids are trying to destroy.
I love it, like right before he falls off the cliff, if you can get that.
Okay.
Like give us like 20 seconds of that. Well, I guess it's not really a cliff. It's
so since you saw this a couple times, what was kind of like your take on this episode? And
I don't like anime, and I like this episode.
Oh wow! This one is definitely like way more anime than the first one.
The first one this is like a chill. Yeah, but it's like not over the top. It's like almost, is it over the top anime or not over the top anime? Because I think that it might be over the top anime, and I'm okay with that. It's just like, I don't know. I loved it. I thought it was a great story.
I thought it was interesting how like, so
it's about these, say
it's about these two it's about these two characters. So the girl from this village, she seems to be like somewhat force sensitive. She's kind of helping interpret these visions of the future with like her tribe, and then she ultimately goes and helps the Jedi, and she's going to go on this mission because at this time in this story there's a war between the Jedi and the Sith, which we've that's always been a thing.
It's like a circle.
And so she meets up with this kid, this young Jedi, which he has kind of like this story about, like he's got these abandonment issues because his master, I won't get too much into it, but he's got some abandonment issues, and the two of them kind of team up, and
you can get into it. Shoot, yeah, he has issues
to destroy this statue.
The Sith Lord came in and cut his master, stabbed him right through the heart, and almost killed him. I almost thought that was just like a vision. So that was like a past thing that happened. Is that what the whole thing was?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I loved his character. I loved that Jedi.
He was cool.
And his story. Like I love seeing the struggle. That's why I love Anakin so much. Oh, that's why Obi-Wan, like you said, is just like a poster boy. Like he doesn't do wrong really. But Anakin struggles with it. They show that a lot. And this guy was like struggling with a lot. And it was cool. I loved it. I loved the animation. I thought it was great action. Kind of wish he died. You know what I mean? You know me.
Yeah.
You're out of options. Choose. I told you, our fates are entwined.
The third image. It was me. God!
Yeah. That was, a little clip of episode 5. Both me and Jake like that. I was just going to ask real quick, why did he kind of start to pass out? Is it just from falling right there, or was it like part of the explosion? I didn't quite understand why he was starting to pass out after he cut that guy.
I actually saw it as like he finished his mission, he avenged his master, and he was just accepting death, and he wasn't going to live. And
you're probably exactly right. Yeah.
And so he was just like falling and like closing his eyes, just like waiting, just falling peacefully, and then realizing he's not out of the fight yet, and she brings him back. And that's why it ends with like, oh, we're such a great team, you know?
It almost like kind of makes me think like that could have like been, in a way, like that could have sort of been like how good Rey and Kylo against Palpatine could be. You know what I mean? Isn't it interesting? Like in some of these short episodes, like they're able to do certain things that like the movies are trying to do, but like they do it better and in like way less time.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. I think we saw that a lot in Tales of the Jedi too.
Oh my god, yeah. Tales of the Jedi. Go check it out, people. Like,
there's going to be a season 2 of that, I believe.
So good. Like, who was it? It was Count Dooku's whole thing. Oh my goodness gracious. So my Georgia. Oh.
But all right, bro. I mean, it's been a really fun episode. Happy Star Wars Day once again to everybody. We appreciate our fighter pilots here who support us on the channel. And again, like I mentioned before, like we're about to hit episode 200 soon, so we'll plan something fun for that. We're going to be putting out more new content very soon. We've been putting out shorter episodes as well, because we know like it's hard to watch longer episodes.
2 hours and 10 minutes of
we
May the 4th be with you.
We will be doing a bunch of short form content as well.
Holy smokes.
I think it's so funny. I think it's so funny in that YouTube video where he's pretending to be Obi-Wan. He's like, "Oh my Force."
Oh my Force, dude. He says it all the time. It's the best. He says it all the time.
Funny. So funny.
So good. I'm just gonna interject. I'll add in. We're gonna have new content coming out. Me and Dom are gonna be seeing Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yes. Tomorrow.
So we are going to.
I forgot about that.
We are going to try to get you guys a review maybe by the end of this weekend, or at the start of next week. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be a good time. I'm expecting a lot, and if it doesn't deliver on what Dom knows I like,
you're kind of hyping me up for it because I didn't really have a whole lot of expectations. I think Guardians 1 is an amazing film. This perfect balance of emotional scenes and comedy. Like it's just such a perfect balance of the two. I hope it delivers. I think it's going to deliver on that too for the third one.
This is probably going to be their darker of the 3 films. They're still going to land some jokes.
For sure.
But like, I'm so hyped for this. I've been waiting so long for this movie to come out. I'm so glad it's out, and I just can't wait to go. Shed some tears in a dark room with a bunch of strangers.
And mimosas.
And mimosas. Those things are going to be lubricating the eyeballs for sure. Definitely. So.
All right. Well, any final thoughts on Star Wars Day, or?
No. All I gotta say is I hope everyone had a great day, and may the Force be with you.
Absolutely. We will be back very soon with new episodes and more reviews, reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 here very soon. And then more Star Wars episodes after that. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. We will catch you in the next one.